Okay, so we've all been there, right? Standing awkwardly, maybe trying to fill the silence.
Absolutely.
It
Well,
feels, well, trivial sometimes, maybe even a bit daunting.
mm-hmm.
But what if these seemingly light moments of small talk,
Mm.
what if they actually hold the key to unlocking some really major personal and professional doors?
Right.
Today, we're kind of on a mission to unravel that exact paradox. This deep dive, it's really custom tailored for you, our listener. We're drawing insights from our source material. It's titled Conversational English, Mastering the Art of Small Talk.
That's the one.
And our goal really is to uncover why these brief exchanges are, well, far more significant than they often appear, and crucially, how you can actually master them.
It's so true. Small talk gets dismissed so often, doesn't it? Just filler, or maybe something you just have to, endure.
Exactly. Endure is the word.
Yeah. Yet what's really fascinating here is its profound impact. I mean, often overlooked, but the impact on social dynamics, even your personal growth, it's significant. It's definitely more than just passing the time.
Yeah, given its sort of deceptively simple nature, it is easy to overlook, isn't it?
Mhm.
But to really get its power, we probably need a clear definition first. So, okay, let's unpack this. What exactly is small talk?
Well, fundamentally, small talk is light, informal conversation. It's really designed to break the ice, or
Oh,
fill
yeah.
silence, or just build that initial rapport with people.
Okay.
It typically revolves around pretty non-controversial, neutral topics, think about the weather, or maybe shared hobbies, current events, that kind of thing.
Say stuff.
Safe stuff, exactly. And while it might seem superficial on the surface, it actually plays a truly crucial role, establishing trust, comfort, connection.
Oh, okay.
Especially, and this is key within many English-speaking cultures.
Right. But it's often dismissed as just fluff. So why should someone genuinely invest energy in something that seems, well, so superficial? What's the actual strategic advantage here?
Well, it's vital, and for several really compelling reasons. Firstly, it's kind of the bedrock for building social bonds.
Okay.
Whether you're talking personal relationships or professional networks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, imagine a job interview, right? Or a critical business meeting. Small talk really helps open those doors. It sets a comfortable tone before you even dive into the main agenda.
Right. It eases you in.
Exactly. And for ESL learners, English as a second language learners, it's particularly helpful. It allows them to feel more natural, more confident in English conversations.
Oh, that. Yeah.
And honestly, for anyone, it significantly reduces that feeling of social anxiety or awkwardness.
Definitely.
It just makes interactions smoother, more authentic, and frankly, more enjoyable.
And this brings us to what's really interesting, I think, the deeper mechanisms. Like beyond just breaking the ice, what's actually happening psychologically when we do this small talk thing?
Yeah, that's where it gets fascinating. According to sociolinguists, small talk acts as a kind of social. Now think of it like a warm-up lap.
Warm-up lap. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's like a low-stakes way our brains test the waters. It allows us to assess safety, build some minimal trust, but without the pressure of immediate intimacy.
Ah, okay. Low stakes.
Exactly.
Good.
It's a really fundamental human mechanism, actually, to bridge that gap from stranger to acquaintance. It gives us time to sort of decide if we want to invest more, in a deeper connection.
Right.
So this process helps manage social distance. And it's really not just what you say. It's how you say it that counts immensely. Your tone of voice, making consistent eye contact, showing active listening skills, all that stuff conveys openness and interest.
Got it.
And that really shapes that initial assessment the other person is making of you.
That makes so much sense. It's
Yeah.
like we're subtly gathering little bits of information about each other, aren't we?
Precisely.
So with that understanding of the psychology, the obvious next question is, if we're trying to manage the social distance and build a connection, what are the safest, most effective topics to even start with?
Yeah, good question. The source material actually highlights several common, pretty universally safe topics. The weather, of course, is the ultimate classic.
Always the weather.
Always. Everyone experiences it, but nobody has, like, a deep personal stake in discussing it. It's the perfect safe opener. Beautiful day, isn't it? Or, wow, is it always this hot here? Simple stuff.
Right.
You can also talk about work or study. What do you do for a living is very common. Or how's school going? Hobbies are excellent too, great for finding common ground. What do you like to do in your free time?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Travel's another good one. Have you been anywhere interesting lately? Or maybe entertainment? Seen any good movies or shows recently?
Yeah.
And, food, sports, local events also work really well. Do you know any good restaurants around here? Did you catch the game last night? Or are you going to the festival this weekend? Things like that.
So it's really about finding that universal common ground that doesn't require much vulnerability, right?
Right.
Avoiding anything too personal, especially right off the bat.
Exactly. Keep it light initially.
And what about the actual phrases? I mean, beyond just topics,
hmm
what are some sort of go-to sentences for navigating these chats smoothly?
Absolutely. Yeah, having a few phrases helps. For starting, you can use something simple and direct like, "Hi, I'm Name. Nice to meet you."
Classic.
Totally. Or if you notice something specific, maybe, "I couldn't help but notice your shirt. Are you a fan of, say, a team or a band?"
Ooh, that's a good situational one.
Yeah. And a general opener like, "How's your day going?" is always pretty reliable.
Okay, and keeping it going.
Right. To keep it flowing, try phrases that invite more detail. Things like, "Really? That's interesting." Or, "No way, tell me more about that."
Encouraging them.
Exactly. Or asking questions like, "How long have you been doing that?" shows you're listening.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to switch topics smoothly, you could try something like, "Speaking of movies, have you seen the latest Marvel film?"
Yeah.
Or, "Oh, by the way, what do you think about that new cafe on Main Street?"
Nice transitions.
Yeah. And then for ending the conversation politely, professionally, options like, "It was great chatting with you." Or, "Well, I've got to run, but let's catch up again sometime."
Good exit lines.
Or just a simple "Enjoy the rest of your day" works too.
Those are super practical. Okay, so beyond just the topics and the specific phrases, what are the really fundamental skills we need, to truly master these interactions and make them feel, well, natural?
Right. It's more than just words. The source points to 4 really crucial skills. First one, active listening.
Okay. What does that really mean in practice?
It means showing genuine interest, using, appropriate facial expressions, nodding, giving those short verbal confirmations like, "Really? Wow," or "I see." It just shows you're actually engaged, not just waiting for your turn to talk.
Got it. Paying attention.
Exactly. Second skill is mirroring.
Mirroring. Now, when you say mirroring, is
Mhm.
that like just imitating someone? Because that sounds a bit, I don't know, maybe forced.
That's a great question. And yeah, it's important to clarify. It's definitely not about outright imitation. That would feel forced and maybe even creepy.
Right. Okay.
It's more about subtle attunement, almost like dancing with a conversation partner. If they speak slowly and calmly, you don't suddenly speed up and get really hyper.
Ah, matching the energy.
Exactly, matching the tone, the energy level, sometimes even subtly the posture. It creates this subconscious sense of connection and comfort. It makes the other person feel heard and understood more naturally.
Okay, that makes more sense. Subtle attunement. What's third?
Third, use open-ended questions. This is key. The goal here is to avoid those simple yes-no answers that can just kill a conversation dead.
Right. Conversation killers.
Totally. So, for example, instead of asking, "Do you like music?" which just gets a yes or no,
Task.
ask something like, "What kind of music do you enjoy and why?" See? That encourages a more detailed response, gives you more to talk about.
Much better. Okay, and the last one.
And finally, number 4 is body language. This is huge. Remember to smile genuinely, maintain appropriate eye contact, without staring intensely.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the stare down is not good.
Definitely not. And use gestures when it feels natural for you. It all signals openness and friendliness.
Smiling, eye contact, gestures. Got it. Now, this brings up an important question. Does this whole art of small talk, does it change depending on where you are, like culturally?
Oh, absolutely.
Are there nuances we should be aware of, especially maybe in different English-speaking countries?
Yes, there definitely are distinct cultural flavors to it. While the core principles, being polite, finding common ground, generally remain, the style can vary quite a bit.
How so?
Well, for instance, in the USA, small talk tends to be pretty friendly, quite casual.
Yeah.
Weather, sports, movies are very common topics. It kind of reflects a culture that often values directness and openness.
Okay. U.S. friendly, casual.
Then you go to the UK. There, it's typically a bit more polite, maybe more reserved initially. The weather is, of course, a perennial favorite topic.
Can confirm.
Haha, yes. And it's often spiced with a bit of dry humor or understatement. This might stem from, a cultural value placed on privacy and maybe slightly more indirect communication.
Right. UK, polite, reserved, weather, humor.
Then Canada. Canada is often known for its polite and inclusive small talk. Travel and, naturally, hockey are often popular subjects. It reflects, I think, a Generally welcoming and diverse society.
Canada. Polite, inclusive, hockey. Makes sense.
And down under in Australia, the style is generally quite relaxed, often humorous. People frequently discuss sports, weekend plans. It kind of embodies a more laid-back, sort of egalitarian approach a
Yeah,
bit.
relaxed, humorous weekends. Okay.
But here's a really crucial tip that applies across all these cultures, and honestly, probably globally.
What's that?
Always try to avoid deep or controversial topics like politics or religion, especially during first conversations. Stick to the light stuff initially to build that trust. Save the heavy topics for later, if at all.
That seems like universally good advice for meeting new people.
Definitely.
Wow. It really makes you realize how much of our daily interaction is built on these small, almost invisible bridges, doesn't it?
It really does. They're foundational.
So, knowing all this, the theory, the psychology, the topics,
Mm.
what's the practical pathway? How do we actually get better? How do we go from understanding this stuff to doing it well out there in the real world?
Right, the how-to. The source offers a pretty clear, actionable step-by-step guide. Okay, step 1, observe and imitate.
Observe, like watch people.
Exactly. Watch TV shows, interviews, even YouTube conversations. Pay close attention to how people start, how they carry, and how they end their discussions. Notice their body language, their pauses, the flow.
Soaking it in. Okay, step 2.
Step 2, practice daily. Make it a habit. Engage with strangers, even briefly. Shopkeepers, classmates, colleagues, even just a simple greeting, hello, how are you, can be a start. It builds your comfort level over time.
Little steps. I like it. What's next?
Step 3, use a small talk journal. Now, this might sound a bit nerdy, but it's a really powerful tool.
A journal. Tell me more.
Yeah. Write down conversations you have, just brief notes. Reflect on what seemed to work well, what maybe didn't land right. You can even practice rephrasing your responses to improve for next time. It helps you consciously learn.
Active reflection. Okay, step 4.
Step 4, memorize phrases. Have a few go-to lines ready for common situations. Like we discussed earlier, maybe.
Nice job.
So, how do you know the host of the party? Or, did you hear about some recent local news? Having these ready reduces the, what do I say, panic.
Like having tools in your toolbox.
Exactly. And finally, step 5, join English-speaking clubs or online meetups. This is huge. Real conversations, ideally with people who can give gentle feedback, are truly the fastest way to improve. I know when I first moved abroad, I really struggled with this, and joining a conversation group was honestly a game changer for me. Practice makes perfect, or at least much better.
That personal touch really hits home. Okay, practice is key. To make this even more concrete, let's take a scenario. Imagine, listener, you're at a friend's birthday party, you see someone you don't know, and you want to strike up a conversation. Our source gives a great little starting script for this. You could say, hey, I don't think we've met. I'm your name.
Nice and direct.
The other person replies, nice to meet you. I'm Alex.
Okay.
Then you follow up, maybe. So, how do you know Sarah? Assuming Sarah's the birthday friend.
Good connector question.
Alex says, oh, we used to work together.
Right. Now you have an opening.
Exactly. So you can say, cool, what do you do now?
Perfect.
And now you see how the conversation can just naturally flow from there. You can ask follow-up questions based on Alex's answer about their current job. Or maybe if they still see Sarah often, it's about taking those little initial nuggets and just gently expanding on them.
That's exactly it. Building block by building block.
But of course, like any skill, there are ways to mess it up. What are some common mistakes we should really try to actively avoid?
Oh yeah, there are definitely pitfalls. First big one, avoid talking only about yourself. Small talk has to be a two-way street, right? A mutual exchange.
Monologues are bad. Got it.
Definitely. Also, try not to interrupt people. Let them finish their thoughts. It shows respect and that you're actually listening.
Patience. Okay.
Giving just one-word answers can also be a real conversation killer. Try to elaborate just a little bit. Give the other person something to respond to. Keep that ball rolling.
Yeah, don't just say yes or no.
Right. Another common one is jumping into deep personal topics way too quickly. Save the really intimate discussions for when you've actually built up some rapport and trust.
Read the room, basically.
Exactly. Read the room, know your audience, and finally, maybe be a bit cautious about overusing slang or idioms unless you are absolutely sure of their meaning in the context. You don't want to accidentally cause confusion or, worse, offend someone.
Good point. Especially maybe for ESL learning.
Especially then, yes. Keep it clear initially.
Okay. Now, for those listening who might feel a bit shy, maybe more introverted when it comes to just walking up and starting these conversations, what are some useful resources or maybe specific tips to help them improve their comfort and skill?
Yeah, that's a really important point because it can feel harder for some.
Hmm.
The good news is there are tons of excellent tools out there to support you. For apps, you could look at HelloTalk or Tandem. They're great for language exchange practice.
Okay.
There's Elsa Speak for pronunciation practice, which helps with confidence. And apparently there's even an app just called Small Talk on iOS and Android.
Wow, specific.
Yeah. For podcasts, listening helps you absorb the rhythm. Things like The English We Speak from the BBC or All Ears English, maybe English Class 101. They're great for hearing natural conversation.
Listening practice. Good idea.
And YouTube is amazing for this. Channels like Speak English with Vanessa, English with Lucy, Rachel's English, they all offer fantastic lessons and really practical tips.
Lots of resources.
Definitely. And some final tips, especially for those who feel shy or introverted. 1, try preparing a few simple conversation starters before you go to an event. Take some pressure off.
Pre-planning. Smart.
2, practice mirror conversations. Literally, talk to yourself in the mirror. It sounds silly, but it helps you get comfortable with the flow and your own body language.
Practice out loud.
Yes. And 3rd, crucially, accept that it's okay to feel a little awkward at first. Seriously, almost everyone does. Like any skill playing guitar, learning to cook you will improve with consistent practice and just being patient with yourself.
That's really encouraging. It's okay to be awkward. Practice helps.
Absolutely.
So, wrapping this all up, what does this all mean for us, for you, the listener, as we venture out into the world, maybe armed with this deeper understanding and these practical steps?
Well, I think it means that small talk, even though it seems so insignificant sometimes, it's actually the fundamental building block. It's the foundation for deeper connections.
The starting point.
Exactly. And by consciously working on mastering it, you're not just learning some simple social trick. You're actually profoundly boosting your confidence. And that, in turn, unlocks better relationships, it enhances career growth opportunities, and it gives you a much richer cultural understanding. It's truly a foundational skill that pays dividends in pretty much every area of life.
So next time you see someone new, maybe a coffee shop, maybe at a party, instead of looking away or shrinking back,
Yeah.
just smile and say, "Hi, how's it going?"
Yeah.
You might just spark a really meaningful connection.
You never know. It all starts somewhere.